Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho. Ha ha ha.
When you're down here with me, you float down!
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What up, and welcome to another new episode of Friday the 14th podcast, Season 8, Episode 2. I'm one of your hosts, Juan, and I'm joined by...
Yeah, the bad guy. The 4K bad guy, that is.
Nick. Man, how's your start of spooky season been?
Spooky season. It's going pretty fine. Continue the trend of watching horror movies, but it's kind of all year round for me. Yeah, starting to see the scenery, as far as like retail stores carrying some spooky stuff. It's always fun.
Is it me, or has prices almost kind of not doubled, but prices as far as like even some of your cheap knockoff decorations have even doubled or went up since the last 2 years?
I have not taken notice of
Like
prices.
like even going into a Five Below, they have now like $20 prices on some of their Halloween stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's supposed to be called Five Below.
Yeah. Dollar Tree. Nah, you can pay $10 for this.
Yeah.
And speaking of Spy Below, I did see some interesting stuff over there. But of course, Colorado of low on funds, so I didn't really go crazy on buying anything.
Man,
There was this cool build a set trick or treat, like Sam's candy stuff. You can build the lollipop and chocolate bar. I want to go back for that.
tell me about it, man. Funds have been insane. Living in this time, in this day and age, is insane. But that's a whole nother conversation for probably a different podcast. But if you guys were not with us the last time we talked an episode, you can go check it out on anywhere that you listen to podcasts at. Hit us up. All the links to the shows that you can listen to and watch are on the social media pages. It's the Instagram / Friday the 14th podcast, YouTube, and Instagram and X. You can all find and search Imisawa Productions on Instagram, YouTube, and hit us up on the Facebook pages as well. If you want to find links to listen to the episode, just wherever you listen to the Cinnamon Movie Podcast on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. So go check all those links out. You can listen to past episodes. A few weeks ago, me and Nick started off spooky season with Detention. So go back and check that episode out. You can also listen to all the episodes from past seasons as well. So hit us up. Let us know what you think, what you've been going through. But Nick, as far as anything that you've checked out recently, do you have anything that you want to recommend to the listeners or the viewers as far as maybe something you want to recommend?
Since our last discussion, I did go check out the latest. They said it was to be the final installment to Hell House, but I don't know if that's where we're at right now. But that was it's definitely different from because they're a found footage series, but I guess the director wanted to try to make it more cinematic. There was, I don't know if I had said the last time, but I saw this kind of mockumentary. What's it called? I'm forgetting it, but it's like a made up serial killer.
I think you did mention a mockumentary last time we talked.
I may have, but yeah, that was a pretty good watch. I saw the new Toxic Avenger.
How was that? I haven't thought about going and seeing it. It's a live action movie, right?
Yeah, with What was
Peter
his name?
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones and
Yeah,
other stuff. I mean, it's cheesy. Based off of the trauma, like that's all trauma movies. So I knew what I was getting myself into. It is definitely different from the original movie. Some tweaks here and there, but yeah, went in there, have fun with it.
nice. This week, I'm sure you're gonna go see The Conjuring Last Rites. That hits theaters tomorrow as we are recording September 3rd on a Wednesday night. So yeah, Thursday night that movie comes out. Are you already pick a day you're gonna go see it?
I plan on going to see it Friday. Originally I wanted to try to binge all the movies, but I don't have the Nun Part Two, so I might just watch the three Conjuring movies and call it a day before seeing the new one.
That's what I'm gonna probably do. I'm gonna go see it on Sunday, so I think I might watch 1, 2, and 3, and then go see the new one. I wanted to rewatch, the Annabelle, the Nun, the Curse of Laura, or whatever her name is.
Laura, who's Laura?
But
Yeah,
there's just not enough. There's not enough time in the day, so I think I'm just gonna do what you're doing. Just do go the three Conjuring movies. So, but that being said, anything you want to like recommend or just throw out there, or you want to just be like, hey, go see the Toxic Avenger, which I want to go see that.
yeah, you definitely go watch the Toxic Avenger. Um, Last week I had my one of my brothers come visit over here, and we went to go see the Naked Gun, but I did miss maybe the 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. So I was like, damn it. Um, and then after that we went to go see Honey Don't with Margaret Qualley.
I heard that was good.
It's pretty good. A lot of of course sexual stuff going goes down, but I mean,
So I checked out Dark Match for this episode, and then I've never seen the Rush Hour movies, so I binged each night back to back to back. I watched the Rush Hour movies 1, 2, and 3. Then I rewatched Jaws for latest episode of the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. If I had to recommend anything, I believe Rush Hour is on Netflix. Go check out Rush Hour on Netflix. And then if you're a Shudder fan, if you have Shudder, Dark Match, what we're talking about today, go check out Dark Match. So, um,
was Rush Hour part of your lineup for your podcast?
no, it's just three movies that I had never seen before, and I own them. So I was like, you know what? Let me just watch them. I think the way life has been lately, I kind of need like a good laugh. They didn't age very well, but they're still they're still pretty funny.
I mean, growing up, I think part two is my favorite one out
Yeah,
of all three.
yeah, pretty funny. And then, they're all like an hour and a half, so you're in, you're out. They're not too, don't take them too serious or whatnot. But what we're talking about today, we are talking about Dark Match. It is a Shudder exclusive. You can go check the movie out on Shudder. Um, Currently, right now, IMDb has it at a 5.5, Rotten Tomatoes is at a 68%, the Metascore is a 44%, and the Letterboxd is a 2.7 out of 5, with a Shudder release date of July 21st, 2024. This movie stars Alicia Isa, Stephen Org, Mo Adden, Sarah Canning, Chris Jericho, Jonathan Cherry, directed by Lowell Dean. A small-time wrestling company accepts a well-playing gig in a backwoods small town, only to learn too late that the community is run by a mysterious cult leader with with dangerous plans for their match. Like I said, you can stream this on AMC Plus and a Shutter exclusive, so go check it out. Um, Way back when we came up with the season 8 opening schedule, I think this was Franco's pick. Um, but me and you were going to talk this movie. Nick, have you seen this movie before, or watching it for the podcast? Was this your first and only watch?
This is my only watch, and it's been my last watch. No, um, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is like I mean, I don't think this is the first time a host has picked a movie and not been present for the film. I think one comes to mind would be Manny. He had chose the faculty the review, and he was already long gone from the lineup. um, I mean, I definitely was looking forward to this film. I mean, I'm been a fan of wrestling for pretty much my whole life. And Chris Jericho in it, horror and wrestling together. I mean, that was something that it really intrigued me.
Same. This was my first and only watch for the episode. This was one of those things when I first heard about the movie, and I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You know, I was like, okay, this could be exciting. And I was still, I watched it a week ago, and I was like, I think this is gonna be a decent watch. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes. Um, and give or take, I haven't seen, too many Shudder exclusives. But it was a grainy film. You don't go in there obviously expecting like a 10 out of 10 wrestling classic or a 10 out of 10 horror movie fanatic classic, but I definitely did want some kind of entertainment with my cheese and with my popcorn horror flick. But man, I kind of did not get the entertaining aspect up until maybe the last 20 minutes.
It was definitely a bit of a slow start.
Um, and I was hoping that I would get maybe a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, the blood was cool, the gore was cool, the uh, the prosthetics and stuff. You could definitely tell a lot of like work went into this movie. Um, but I kept looking at the runtime. I was like, man, how much longer? Something big has to pop off. I did appreciate the presentation of the cult, but if you kind of even if you look away for maybe like a minute or two, you kind of get lost because you're like, okay, what's the whole goal oriented aspect of Chris Jericho and this cult? Like, are the fans are in on it, right? You have to think that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you let's say what do you think? Did you have a problem with the runtime as well?
And I think I'm on the opposite end on that. I mean, I really not feel the runtime on this. I mean, kind of just flew by. Although there was, I had to admit, I kind of looked away for a bit. I may have missed a little bit of the scene towards the end of the movie,
So
and that
did you go back and like, okay, let me try to rewatch this, or did you just like, you know what, it's bad enough that I'm just gonna miss what I missed?
I wouldn't say it was like bad, but I I never got around back to seeing it. I guess I wanted to see what I can do with one take. Um,
I do say the main character misbehave. I think she's probably the most kick-ass character in the movie. This kind of felt more like a Mortal Kombat s movie than anything. What do you think?
Mortal Kombat, with the deaths situations like that, um, because how it starts off with the misbehave and K the Great, it kind of gave Glow. I don't know if you've seen that series on Netflix.
I've read into it and I've heard about it. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, it kind of had a similar vibe to it.
It had a Lucha Underground vibe to it too
Lucha
sometimes.
Underground. Actually, I never actually got to seeing Lucha Underground. I remember seeing like bits and pieces with when I would go over to one of my buddies' place. He would have it on, but
I could have
It's 'cause
sworn Netflix bought it out. I don't know if it's on Netflix.
I saw like it's real dramatic. It's like almost like a cinema type thing, but
Yeah. So
misbehave.
so if I had to, a few weeks ago in my podcast, I talked about a football movie. And we talked We Are Marshall, and one of the big bring-ups in that movie was I kind of felt like it was like a Hallmark made for movie because the football scenes weren't very good. So with this movie, I'm like, okay, the horror scenes are pretty cool. I like the deaths. I like, almost like a death match scenario kind of thing. So I was like, I feel like I want the wrestling aspect to be pretty cool too. That kind of lacked for me in this. I don't know about you, but like some of the wrestling scenes and the wrestling wide shots for me, or the um just the pure wrestling aspect of the film was kind of like missing for me. Did you feel the same, or did you not really care since it was more of like a horror movie?
Each match, I mean, because there's all they were all gimmick matches. So I wasn't really expecting a traditional. Also, like how much runtime are they actually going to go into these scenes? Um, I tried to look at the cast and see if there was any actual people with the background wrestling. I think they're all just actors for the most part.
Yeah. At least none that step into my mind that I'm like, none of them too famous.
Yeah, I don't think they're really going for wrestling. I think they're just going for more of a
More of a cinematic
the
feel.
brutal setups, whatever they had planned. Like the first match was a tag team match. Was it the air match? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, the gimmicks to me were kind of forgettable, so that's why I'm like kind of saying the wrestling to me was not really up to par. Because to me, at least, the only one that really stood out is, like I said, if Misbehave was in it, like the one she had with the female wrestler who was like kind of the up and comer or the big star. What was her name? Kate the Great.
Kid the Great. I mean, they have two matches technically because the first one it's your traditional match, and then the one that gets that area.
Yeah.
I don't know what town they're in, but Chris Jericho's promotion. um, that's when it becomes like a what was it, a water type match, but they're using his weapons.
I know this. I know the saying is probably like trademark, but I was like, man, can we get a drink it in, man?
And man,
The movie probably would not have happened if they used like a line from WWE. But I feel like that's maybe what he was kind of like. I kind of felt like that is what the Chris Jericho we were getting, even though to me he. That's another thing that irritated me in this movie. I've seen Chris Jericho act and play a better character in the ring than I did in this movie. That irritated me.
who do you think would have done a better job for this role?
I think he would have done a fantastic job, but for some reason, he played a better character on a wrestling TV show than he did in the movie. Like maybe he gets his acting skills. Maybe he's a little bit better of an actor in front of a live crowd than he is in front of a production crew. Again, that's probably me just nitpicking the movie. But if I'm gonna sit down and critique, a horror movie, I'm like, come on, I know Chris Jericho could probably do a little bit better.
Do you think they only gave him like a couple of takes? Like, nah, that's good, man.
Yeah,
You're
we don't,
Chris Jericho. It's all
we,
a bunch of bias.
yeah, we don't have that many. We don't have that much film to waste.
We're on the budget, man.
Yeah, which I was looking for this budget, and I could not find the budget for Dark Match. So
Dark match.
interesting, though.
And technically, that the whole name of the movie is Dark Match in it. It's, I guess it just refers to the Misbehaves and Kate the Great's match. This was me, not televised, but they were still recording.
Oh yeah, I did like Mo Jabari, the guy who played Enigma. I thought he was pretty fun.
He's the masked the luchador,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You know what was you know this movie also kind of reminded me of the Green Room.
The A24 movie.
Yeah, with Patrick Stewart. At first, that's what kind of vibe I was feeling. I'm like, okay, like a massacre kind of trapped house movie, but instead of a concert, it's wrestling. So, which and I'm so glad they didn't use a lot of CGI for the blood. I don't think they maybe even used any CGI for the blood. So that did kind of help me, like, appreciate. I always appreciate when they use actual prosthetics and makeup and all that good stuff. So, but and then the kills were cool. The kills were great. There wasn't that many, so it's not like you were overwhelmed and you had to keep up with some. So that's always a good thing.
Each death they were just kind of
I
taking
do
them to the
like,
area for sacrifice.
yeah, that's another thing that I did enjoy. I did enjoy the title match sequence cards or the title card sequences, almost like how it told you what match was next for the chapter. So, um, but it is what it is. What did you mean by your first and last time watch? Like, is this one of those movies that you really do feel like there's no rewatchability to this whatsoever?
I don't think it's a movie that would come visit very often. I'd definitely give it another watch. I'll maybe even go as far as buying buying the movie on Blu-ray. Um,
I think this would be one of those good movies where hold on, I didn't mean to say good. I think this would be one of those movies where you would show somebody like, "Oh, check this movie out. I want to watch somebody's reaction." I wouldn't necessarily want to watch the movie again. Like if you're a wrestling fan, I invite you over. I'm like, "Oh, check out this movie." I think that's the only reason I would want to replay it.
yeah. There's also this other movie that starred wrestlers, but they were like going against zombies. I haven't checked it out, but I know what's out there. Where would it start?
You don't remember?
I Yeah, I can't remember who came on it. I want to say Kurt Angle, but I could be wrong. It was like a few of them though. Say, oh, that's what this when this movie got brought up. I was like, oh, another horror wrestling movie. I think it's just versus zombies. So I rest. Uh,
Do you think this would have been pretty decent if they left so much of the gimmick match like substance out of the movie, and if this was just a normal wrestling show and they were in a town full of hills have eyes people and they were like crazy communies or something like that? Do you think this movie would have been a little bit better if they went that kind of route, or did you appreciate the gimmick and the loser is sacrificed, stuff like that? Because to me, I'm like, okay, I think they kind of have something, but then I'm like, I wasn't really feeling the whole loser gets sacrificed and the extra gimmicks and the like the stuff that was brought into the ring and stuff like that. That's also probably me being more of a wrestling traditionalist, but I'm
I
just
was like, what
speaking.
were they? What were they showing this? Like, what network were they putting it on? Or
Oh
is this
yeah,
like a dark web?
yeah, that's
Stuff
true too.
probably.
Yeah, because there was like a whole the other thing that kind of not freaked me out, but it was weird was there was like producers in the back. So at first I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is for like a dark web. Maybe they're selling their own, their own stream. But then I'm like, man, there's a TV producer in the back. What's going on here?
Yeah. Um. Well, that movie I was trying to tell you about was it's a movie called Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. It starred Roddy Piper, Kurt Angle, Jim Duggan. Matt Hardy comes out in it, and Shane Douglas.
Oh my God, not Shane Douglas. Let me
Yeah, I haven't
drop.
seen
Let
it.
me drop what I'm doing and find this movie.
Yeah, that's our next review, everybody.
What'd you say it was called?
Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. It's from 2013.
Oh, it's look at that, Nick. It's on Tubi.
Oh, are you willing to sit through the ads?
I thought you
Uh,
were like, let's review Beyond the Mat. You said that's what I thought you said.
yeah, the bad.
If you look at it from a Jake the Snake perspective, that's a horror movie. Ooh, that too soon?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Um, but no, for this, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. But do you have a favorite scene or a favorite kill, maybe? Because and look, the ending too, to me, is also like really forgettable.
the actual ending
Yeah,
left on a cliffhanger.
yeah, but it felt like it was one of those movies that didn't know when it was supposed to end, and then they do just kind of leave you with a little small tad bad cliffhanger, and you're like, really? Like nobody's gonna come back for a sequel.
So you want the sequel. We're gonna dangle it right in front of you. Kind of remind me of a short in VHS too. But
Because it's like, yeah, in January, if Chris Jericho signs with the WWE, he's never gonna have time like this again.
mm,
I would have to say I know he's my favorite character, or at least my favorite like. But I'm gonna have to say I really did. Enigma's death was like kind of heartfelt, and that's the one that just kind of stood out to me. So that would probably be my favorite kill, and then my favorite scene would probably be Kate the Great versus Misbehave the second time.
I was gonna say Enigma's kayfabe death or the actual real death.
You know,
I'm
a little
kind of
tearjerker.
going blank on how he actually died.
It's okay. I think this whole movie you probably thought was
um, Chris Jericho's death. Nah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the misbehaving Kate the Great was pretty good. It's because I mean, Jericho wasn't expecting his. That's when you get the reveal, like, oh, it's his daughter in the match, and it just kind of she just dies. It's like, yeah, that wasn't part of the script.
yeah. Ain't no breaking any walls down here.
He's like, it's what master or sir, you gotta be you can't you can't leave or break down. I know she was your daughter and everything, but you gotta continue. this whole thing.
Um, Star rating. How many machetes would Dark Match get from Nick?
Mm, I'll s- I'll slap it. I'll slap it with a 2.
The two.
It's pretty generous, but I mean, I won't say it was like the worst, but it was decent.
Yeah, no, for sure. This movie definitely wasn't the worst. Um, I'm gonna slap it. I'm gonna go just a little bit behind you. I'm gonna slap it with a 1.5 out of 5. Just because on my pure rewatchability, I don't think I'll ever click and want to rewatch this again. Like I said, if I do, I would like. It would just be to see someone's reaction to this movie. Um, but for sure, it would definitely be a 1.5. There is some positivities towards this movie, so I would recommend it to go see if you're a horror and a wrestling fan in general. You're probably gonna have fun with this. Um, the deaths were fun. The matches were kind of out there, but again, it's built for cinematic time, a cinematic good time. The prosthetics, the blood, the guts, all that good stuff was fun. Um, but there's not a lot of big fear aspect if as it's going for a horror movie, and that's one of the big things for me. And then again, rewatchability. So I'm gonna slap it with a 1.5 out of 5. So um,
I think Stephen Ogg was one of my, well, um I guess favorites in the film. Uh, Mainly known for his role in GTA 5 as Trevor. Even has a little role in The Walking Dead. I noticed he's been doing a lot some movies on Shudder. He was in a VHS movie.
all those VHS movies are on Shudder, right?
I think so.
I
I
might
mean,
have
there's
to,
someone Tubi too.
yeah, might have to give him a watch. I have only seen like the first one, so I might have to give him a little rewatch here soon, or a watch here soon. Um, but next episode, here in a few weeks, we're gonna try to do September 17th. Uh, we are gonna talk Strange Darling. So that should be a fun conversation. I haven't seen this movie since I first watched it back in March, I think. So I think this should be a fun rewatch, hopefully. Rewatchability is a big thing for me. Nick, you always like talking about that Kyle
Kyle Goner.
Goner. So
Yeah, well, yeah.
are you excited for the rewatch? Or
Very,
have you
very
have you
excited.
you've seen this, right?
I saw it once. Trying to just parts. I'm trying to remember, but this is definitely one of those movies that I wanted to watch. Because I was going through. There's other movies I was running through. Um, like I think I saw The Substance, Cuckoo, movies like that.
Cuckoo would be a good one to talk about. But this one was my pick, I think. So we'll talk about this September 17th. And then Nick's next pick, we will talk about on Wednesday, October the 1st. So we're
Nice.
marching right into spooky season. So
Spook.
um but yeah, Nick, before we get out of here and put our sights on Strange Darling, do you have anything you want to add to Dark Match for today's episode?
Dark Match. Yeah, just definitely check it out on Shudder. Uh, Definitely worth a watch. Um,
Yeah, go check it out. it's worth at least one watch if you're a horror or wrestling fan or both. So there's also a lot of other great content on Shudder, so go check it out. And in a few weeks, we'll talk Strange Darling. Let me see where that might be streaming, and I can let everybody know. It is on Hulu. Hulu, Fubu TV, Paramount Plus. So go check it out. Strange Darling. That's what we're talking about in 2 weeks on September 17th. Until then, Nick, anything you want to add?
No. Ben Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be it. Thank you guys for another fun episode. Friday the 14th podcast. We talked about Dark Match. Join us again 2 weeks for Strange Darling. Tuesday, don't forget, new episode of the Cinema Movie Podcast. We're talking about The Conjuring, The Last Rites. So, see you in 2 weeks for Strange Darling. Have a good week, guys. Thank you.
See you, Ultra.